up, Domino community? I'm Lily Hevesh from Hevesh5, and today I'll be teaching you how to build Disney's Moana Whirlpool in Dominoes. So for this project, I'm using all 200 dominoes in the set, but you can use more or less depending on how big you want to make the spiral. The first step is to make the outline of a backwards S using flat dominoes. I'm going to start by placing one domino in the middle of my building surface, and then I can use two domino heights as sort of a measurement tool to make the top and bottom of the S. So if I place two domino heights above where I place that first domino, the top of the S will go here, and then if I move it to the other side, the bottom of the S will go here. And from here, now we can just connect the two. Now that we have an outline of the backwards S, it's super simple. All we have to do is extend the lines and keep building the spiral outward. And one really important tip, keep using your two domino heights as a measurement tool so that you can make sure that the distance between all of these lines are even. Once you're happy with the final design, then all you have to do is replace these flat dominoes with upright standing dominoes. So I'm going to start by replacing the center domino with an upright domino, and then I'm going to set up the one on either side and the dominoes that are perpendicular to it. These are the key points of the spiral, so as long as these look pretty good, then you should be all set to make a perfect backwards S. From here, I'm going to set up the dominoes that are exactly 45 degrees. Now we can just fill in all of the gaps. The spacing should be about 1 domino thickness to 1 centimeter apart, and you might have to adjust the spacing just a little bit here and there, so it's okay if you need to shift some things over. Just make sure when you're building all of these turns that the angle of the domino isn't too sharp. You'll notice here the dominoes are only angled just a tiny bit, and if you trace the inner and outer side of the dominoes, they make perfect arcs. And for lines that turn 180 degrees, I recommend having at least 9 angled dominoes in that turn. That'll just make sure that all the dominoes will hit the next one and won't knock out by accident. If the dominoes are angled too much, it might not topple over. So I'm just going to continue placing dominoes inside and filling in the line. Now that the S is built, I think I'm going to change colors and extend the line using these yellow-orange dominoes. So I'm just going to continue building like this. Now just keep in mind as you're building the 2 domino height distance between each of the lines. Make sure it all looks even. And before I get too far, I definitely recommend making a couple of safety gaps. If I were to knock this down by accident, the entire project would topple over. But you could prevent that by making a safety gap and taking out 5 consecutive dominoes. So if I take out these right here, and then I take out these right here, by having a gap here, I can continue building. And if I were to knock it down, it would just stop there instead of knocking down the entire project. But you can continue building like this, and at the very end, we'll fill in the safety gaps. And now I'm going to switch to light pink dominoes. And make sure you're keeping an eye on the spacing as well, just making sure that it's consistent throughout the entire spiral. And now I'm going to switch to gray dominoes, and I'm going to make another safety gap. But instead of taking out dominoes, I can just skip a space like this, and then leave my 5 dominoes next to it to fill it in later. And I think I'll stop the spiral here, but if you want, you can make it larger and just keep extending all of the rings of the circle. Technically, a double spiral could be as large as you want, or it could literally just be the backwards S. But now that this is all ready, I'm going to very carefully fill in the safety gaps. So just be really mindful where your hand is, make sure your arm isn't going to knock it down by accident, and just carefully fill in the dominoes. And here you have it. This is the double spiral. And from here, you can topple it from either end of the double spiral. So I can knock it down this way or in this direction. But before I topple it, I'm going to use my super special metallic domino featuring Disney's Moana. And this is going to be the start domino to knock down the entire project. Let's knock this down. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect! That was awesome! And that is how you build Disney's Moana Whirlpool in Dominoes. I'm Hevesh5, and keep on building.